Utilizing Zinnia for English-driven careers by me, Jasper Binion. As a brief note, this app is only on iPad, iPhone, and Mac. What is Zinnia? Zinnia is an app that is typically labeled as a notebook and creative diary created by Pixite Inc. and released in 2020. However, it is still being updated. The app itself allows for the user to take notes, handwritten or typed, draw, import items, highlight, and so on. One way that I use this application is taking notes when I'm reading, because I typically try to avoid writing in my books and post-it notes can be restrictive in size. I will pull up this app to allow myself freedom to write my thoughts on a piece, be it a quote I want to save, a question, or an idea. I also use the app for making notes on future pieces, as I am a writer myself, so I tend to use it to jot down ideas if I don't have a pen and paper. This also allows me to come back to an idea and expand on it without needing more papers or clips to connect connect content together. The same could be said for when writing articles or wanting to save relevant information. Finally, I also use it for brief sketches, such as diagrams, in case I want to remember a visual thought I had in relation to text. In terms of organization, I use this app for noting and visualizing thought processes, in which I will jot down a step by step process to help me consider what needs to be done. It being digital means that at any point I can revise the steps, add, subtract, or reference back to what I've done previously. I can also add additional notes if something needs to be further considered, and I do not need to worry about the pages getting lost or mixed up. As you can see to the right, I have included the plans for this very project. Finally, this application can help with planning and tracking. Other people make content with this app, so not everything has to be yours. To the right, you can see two examples of content that someone else has published that you can use. That being said, even without other people's content, you can schedule meetings, progress on projects, due dates, expectations, reminders, and achievements, all while also being able to reference back to previous dates. This for me is very helpful for seeing how much I have done and how far I've come in projects. Let me show you a demonstration. First, we'll zoom in and write by hand. Hello. Then we can change colors. There are many colors and styles you can choose between. The same can be said for the type of writing utensils. Now I'll show you that you can type as well. If you don't prefer your handwriting, typing text is just fine. Voila. Next, because you have the freedom to write, this also means you can draw. This is how I drew my plans for this project. Now let me show you stickers. Let's choose stickers, and how about a dandelion? You can shrink it, and we can place it here or wherever we want, really. Make it a little bigger. We can change the color of it, so we can make it yellow. If I wanted something to be on top of it or have that be on top of the other thing, we could change the layer that it sits on. You can also rotate it. It doesn't really matter because it's a circle, but and if you don't like it, you can delete it. Finally, let's look at the settings. There are quite a few things that you can consider, all of which could help with accessibility. And these are only a few things that the app can do. In conclusion, this application is really helpful for me and would likely be of great use for other English majors or people in similar paths. Being an English major leaves people open to many opportunities, both personal and professionally related, be it working for a company, writing, advertisements, developing books, and so on. This app is versatile and creative, allowing people to engage creatively with important information that they may want to document and keep track of. I suppose the only negative is that for some content, the user needs a subscription. However, I have been doing very well within the free plan thus far. Thank you for listening.